Ride to Happiness is the second Mack Extreme spinner to open up. It's located in a small family park in Belgium called PlopsaLand the Panne. Many people that have ridden this coaster say it's the best ride in Europe, and that made me very curious. So I went to ride this in October, and I can finally now give a review on this awesome coaster. I will be describing some of the aspects of this ride and the full experience, what I like about this coaster and what they could have done better. Well, only if that exists. So let's dive right into some of the basic info. Ride to Happiness is a Mack Extreme spinner that opened in 2021. It's 33 meters tall or 108 feet. It goes 90 kilometers an hour or 56 miles per hour. It has 6 inversions, 2 launches, and it can run on 2 trains, and each train can hold 16 people. And the ride is sponsored by TomorrowLand, and that's also the team. But how does this ride system work? It's the exact same as the first Mack Extreme spinner, Time Traveler, but it has 2 little differences. Number 1 being that the magnet that they both have is turned on Time Traveler because they wanted a little bit more of a family friendly spin, but on Ride to Happiness that magnet is turned off, so it gets a spin that's completely out of control. The second little difference is that the Ride to Happiness has onboard audio. The music that blasts through your ears while getting thrown around in every element is composed by Hans Zimmer. Yes, the same guy from Interstellar music. And it's synced up perfectly with every element, so that's already a huge bonus point for Ride to Happiness. Now let's go over the theme. Ride to Happiness is sponsored and themed by Tomorrowland, and for the people that don't know what that is, it's a huge EDM festival that is hosted every year in Belgium. There you will find some huge themed stages, and after some research I think the stage that Ride to Happiness is themed after is this one right here. The plaza for Ride to Happiness is very peaceful and has a lot of plants and bushes. But if you go into the queue line, it's suddenly pretty dark themed and really steampunky, which I personally just love. After that part you go outside for a little bit and walk kind of underneath the brake run, and again here it's pretty peaceful again. Then you walk up some stairs and you have a little hallway which has some nice moving things and water tubes. And in this queue you can find these spinning screens that show this kind of AI face. Then you have the last 2 stairs before entering the station. The station for Ride to Happiness doesn't have a lot going on in there, but it feels really big, and the part that makes it interesting is this huge AI face with a lot of moving parts around it, and of course it's very steampunky. And this AI robot face, what it is, also has something to say now and then, with the quote being "Live today, love tomorrow, unite forever." And that's kind of the only thing you should be looking at. The rest of the station is pretty boring, but I do have to say that the color scheme is really nice. And then the gates open and you can put your stuff in a wooden locker. Then you can sit in your beautiful Mack chairs, which are probably my favorite seats on a coaster. They sit really well and they make airtime and even a little rattle feel comfortable. Now you can't close your own restraint, you have to wait until a ride up closes them, and the way they do this is just simply by pressing a button. The restraints close and check themselves. Mack rides just does things differently when it comes to new technology. Then, after loading, your trip to happiness begins. Unfortunately, Ride to Happiness does not have dispatch audio in the station, but it does have onboard audio, which starts as soon as you're out of the station. And this might just be the coolest way to exit the station, because you're instantly inverting by doing a JoJo roll. In the front, you go through it so slowly, you get some of the best hang time on any coaster in the world. And that goes on forever while spinning. You might go through it backwards, you might go spinning insane, and that's the case for every element on this coaster. In the back you whip through it, and I actually find the front giving stronger hang time. Then you sit on the launch section for a couple seconds before you launch. I would not say that the launch is insanely intense itself, but because you are spinning, you can get a forward launch, a backwards launch, and even a sideways launch. So that's the reason why this launch is so good. And another thing about this launch is that when you are almost at the end, there's a point where every car just whips. I don't know how they do this, but if you can get a good whip, it can really surprise you. After that first launch you go up into a top hat, but it's not like a normal top hat. You go up 90 degrees, then get some insane -2 Gs in the front, and then go into a little outer bank dip before you finally drop and get that insane -2 Gs in the back. This top hat is supposed to mimic the drop on Time Traveler over at Silver Dollar City. They have some really cool terrain they can use to make those kind of drops, but in Belgium they of course don't have that. So they used a launch to get that height and then make the same kind of drop. This drop is also my personal favorite because it offers one of the strongest moments of airtime in the world on a 30-meter drop, and you have the chance to get some insane spins or just take it all backwards. Yes, I'm talking about the moment everybody wants to get. So far this ride is already perfect. Then you have a pretty strong valley that crushes your body before entering the first hypnotizing element, the banana roll. Some people call this a dog tongue element, and some people say it's only one continuous inversion, but there are also people that say that this element carries two inversions. I don't feel like discussing it because all I need to say is that it feels super weird and you seriously don't have any idea what's going on the first couple rides you have. In terms of G-forces it's pretty floaty, but you still feel some weird things that you don't really get anywhere else. After the banana roll, you have another strong valley entering a vertical loop. The entrance and exit are forceful, but at the top you get some real nice 0Gs. And because you are spinning, it does not feel like a normal loop of course. After the loop you have a 0G roll. I've heard people call this a corkscrew, but I don't know how people could see that in this element. But I definitely say that this is a true 0G roll. And 9 out of 10 times you will take this element like a front or a backflip, which I absolutely adore. Definitely another perfect element. Then you have a big turn that passes over the water coaster they have, and speaking of water, all the elements on the first half are above a big lake, another cool feature for Ride to Happiness. After that turn over the water, you rise up into a twisted airtime hill that twists to the other side before you get up to the top, which I find giving a fun little effect. In the front you get some airtime, but not much in the back. And then comes the second launch to split up the ride in two halves. This launch has a pretty good boost, plus it has a really nice airtime hill that can give some insane ejector airtime in the back and some flow ejector in the front. And obviously you are spinning, so you get some fun little effects on here too, like going backwards. And here is what I'd call the standout element. Even though a lot of people would say the top hat is the standout element, I personally call the double inverting dive loop the standout element on Ride to Happiness. The reason being is not because it gives mind-blowing ejector airtime, it's just purely because of how disorientating it is. You invert twice, once going up and once going down doing a dive loop, all while spinning, doing front or back flips or some crazy variation of spins, and you are out of your seat the whole time, not being pulled like a normal ejector hill, but different, which feels incredibly fun. And it's also the standout centerpiece when you walk into the Ride to Happiness Plaza. Then, before you know it, you are pulled out of your seat again after a pretty strong valley. This is a big airtime hill that gives great ejector airtime. And exiting this airtime hill, you whip to the left going into a low to the ground overbank turn that goes around a big puddle of water. It provides some forces, but not mind-blowingly intense. But I still find it very fun to go through. And then to finish off you will go through two of maybe the most strong airtime pops of the whole ride. This is a great moment to just finish off the ride with a message. We provide strong airtime. This whole experience is just out of control and you are in absolute shock when you hit the brake run. You are silenced by this coaster. I actually came off crying because it was that crazy good. And while you are sitting on that brake run, the music just becomes like very chill with a very heavy bass, which just adds to the feeling. Now the downside for some people is just like on Voltron, it will sometimes rattle a bit. Now personally I can really withstand these type of little rattles, especially with those comfortable Mac chairs. So for me it didn't really downgrade my rides at all. The second thing is the spinning. Yes, there will be some people that don't like this type of feeling and won't ride it because of that. But the crazy thing is, almost no one ever gets off Ride to Happiness feeling sick. When I rode it about 12 times. There are some people that rode it like 25 times in a day. I never got sick or tired of the out of control spinning. It actually felt natural, and of course for me, it absolutely boosts this ride to the top of my rankings, now being my new #1 coaster I ever rode. For me, my favorite place to sit was in the back. I'm usually a back row person, but the front was also top tier, especially that slow JoJo roll out of the station. But for me, the drop and the pull out of the double inverting dive loop do it for me. And there isn't really a choice to sit on the right or the left side because of the spinning aspect. And then lastly, the trains. These trains are absolutely beautiful. The steampunk theme makes it perfect in my opinion. So, did I say anything bad about Ride to Happiness? No, that's why I will give it a final rating of a 10 plus. Yes, I can do that, it's my video, so I can. This ride is just absolutely perfect and I am curious to see how long it will stay as my #1. So definitely make sure to ride this coaster at least one time in your life. You will be happy forever. Now, if you want to see the vlog and more reviews like this one, make sure to subscribe and maybe even drop a like. Alright, that's it for this video and I will see you in the next one. I don't know what to say. And we are back at Anubis, probably my favorite launch.